All right.
Good morning, everyone. This is super, super special. This episode of Humans of Tech is super, super special. One, because our guests and I met on LinkedIn, which is, I feel like, where a lot of people are meeting individuals these days. And I just said, do you want to grab coffee? So this is a direct representation of kind of that interaction. So we have Nia Lucky. She is a CIO and CISO advisor, and much, much more. So I'm going to have her kind of introduce the rest of her roles and all of that.
Well, good morning and thank you, Kelly. So my name is Nia Lucky and I am a CIO and CISO advisor for various clients. I work for a global consulting firm and I specialize in something called governance, risk, and compliance strategy. But there's a lot more behind that too. So in industry, I'm actually an active mentor and I support multiple nonprofit and non-government organizations working towards closing that diversity gap and the skill gaps that we're seeing increase in 2024 by way of training, master classes, one-on-one mentoring, resume reviews, coaching, tips, and it's all volunteer. Right. So I don't charge because we all got here with the support of somebody else. And that's kind of the spirit and the message that I want to bring to the world, the organizations I support, and pretty much anybody I interact with. But I got my start as a technical writer, and short 6 years later, I am now advising on strategy on high performing teams and cybersecurity compliance needs.
You know what I love most about getting to do these talks is sometimes when we see like the LinkedIn profiles or we have quick calls, business calls, we only see one side of a person. And then this part here, like you unpacking what you do outside of your day-to-day job that still is in line with your work, right? But fuels passion is similar to what Kelly and I are doing with this series, right? This is totally for our fun side of work, but we feel like it drives impact in a different way. And we get to see people like you in a multifaceted way. And I love that.
I couldn't have said that better myself. And absolutely, that's what it's all about, right? Make it fun and then it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So we're gonna pull in our question here, our randomized question. Let's see. Let's see. What has been the most rewarding project or accomplishment in your career so far?
We have done that
All
one.
right.
We had that one.
We have had that one. So
We're going to give you the option. Do you want to answer this one?
I'll answer this one.
All right, fine. Let's go. Let's
Okay.
go.
So this takes me back to Cisco, and it was nerve-wracking. It was my first step away from government work, but where I was supporting clients, and they were like, "Hey, we want you to stand up a security operations center." I was like, "Cool." But at the end of it, the biggest accomplishment of that entire project, which was a year and a half, we worked tirelessly quarter over quarter. But when you have penetration testers come in, right, that's a little nerve wracking. But within 3 days, they were like, hey, we need executive buy-in for you to loosen your security controls so we can actually test your solution. We couldn't get in. And so that, to me, as a security architect at the time, heck yeah, like it was like, yes, compliment. Also, who needs to approve this? Because I'm taking the win.
My favorite thing of what you just said was, I'm taking the win. I think when we especially tying back to earlier in the piece, as women and this gap and whatnot, we have a harder time accepting and saying like, I want to take this win.
Exactly. And they did. They held space for it. We got them the permission they needed. We got the accreditation. So it was FedRAMP IL5 approval to sell our offering. I'm like, done. Oh my goodness. And it was new. It was exciting. It was something I'd never done before.
Yeah.
Never really thought I could do. And then a year and a half later, did it. But, you know, going back to what I was saying previously, it definitely took support. It took a village, right? And so knowing that going in and saying, all right, who are my allies here? That's the magic.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you for taking the time with us today.
yes.
You're most welcome.
Yeah, and I think we're good.
We're good.